Hey, it's Kim McKay, and welcome to my episode 6, season 6 Game of Thrones review. Now, this episode wasn't quite as exciting, as immaculate, and amazing as last episode, but it still had a few key scenes that I really enjoyed. Without delay, let's get into it. Okay, so we start off where we left off, with Mira and Bran running away from the Whites after they left the cave. Bran is still in Pimmerwalk state and going through a fuck ton of visions and information that we've got throughout the season, plus some stuff that we know about but haven't seen yet. We get some of the alchemists making wildfire and looking around and planting in shelves. We get a dragon flying over King's Landing. We get the Mad King saying, "Burn them all." We also get the Jaime flashback where he goes and kills the Mad King, which is something that a lot of people guessed from the shadow thing we got in the trailer. It wasn't completely sure, but now we know for certain, it was just Jaime killing the Mad King. We also get the shot here, which is Lyanna lying in a bed of blood. Side note, I wonder if they're going to make Bran get the knowledge of Jon Snow's path without showing us. So it's going to imply that he saw it in one of his visions without showing that vision to us. And then he kind of withholds it from Jon and us as the audience just to be pissing us off even more. Then we also get these shots of the wildfire exploding under the King's Landing, which hasn't happened yet, so that could be foreshadowing for Cersei burning down King's Landing. Okay, then Bran wakes up and he says, they found us. So casually. So just absolutely nothing in there. He's kind of like Blood Raven with that, kind of disconnect from the world and the actual threat that's coming from them, because he's more, lucid in his experience, and he kind of only half in this world. Then, just as the Whites happen to be approaching on them, out of nowhere comes Cold Hands / Benjen. Now, I've been expecting this character for a very long time. Ever since we got the first glimpse of him in the first trailer, I've been waiting for him for so long, and we finally get it, and it's exactly how we expected it would be, and it's just absolutely brilliant to have that confirmation that, yes, it's Benjen, yes, it's Cold Hand, yay, everyone was right, everyone thinks amazing, now we've got a cool new character, and he's back for once. Okay, so we move to Sam and Gilly, and finally for once, it's an entertaining scene that has some brilliant character mixing, and actually forwards some storylines. So they start off with this whole carriage ride, and they're talking about how they're going to interact, and what they know, and what they don't know, talking about how she can't say she's a wildling, and how she can take in the child, kind of explaining the simple plot of what they're doing here, which they managed to fuck up like almost everything, but to still get the outcome they want. So they arrive, they meet the mom and the sister, and they're all happy and cheerable, which is a complete parallel to both Randall, Tarly, and kind of Dickon a bit. At least Gilly can dress up nice. So the dinner scene ended up being incredible. It had this really awesome tension between Randall, which was just a disappointed, absolutely just did not give a single shit about Sam, just absolute resentment towards him. And then there's Sam, who has to be reserved and conservative because he needs Randall. He needs him to take in Gilly and the baby, and so he has to play on his turf. Of course, Gilly managed to muck up the only thing she had to keep secret, but it doesn't matter. They get what they want anyway, and Sam's all good. But oh wait, I'm gonna be a rebellious teenager now. Fuck that. We just got what we wanted, came all this way, traveled all this place just to make sure that you could get exactly the things you got. But you're like, nah. I don't want that no more. I'm going to rebel. I'm going to take you back to me with Old Town or wherever we head next. I'm going to steal Heartsbane, which is something that he's really going to go after. Just, he could have left and Randall would be like, no, I have to look after the baby child. It's all fine. He wouldn't care, wouldn't chase after them, but he steals Heartsbane so that Randall has to go after him. Note to self. Do not piss off powerful lord by stealing Valyrian's sword and running away with no resources. But at least now we've got a really interesting storyline happening with him, because it means we have the Randall going after him, he's going to be running away, whether he goes to Old Town and tries to find allies there, or if he goes somewhere else, it's going to be particularly amazing. Some people have pitched the theory that he leaves altogether Westeros and everything and goes to Dany to fulfill where Aemon would have gone. Now, Aemon Targaryen was really old, he was a maester, and he wanted to look after Dany. He knew that Dany needed the advice of a maester, but could not help her because of his old age and he was dying, and he felt like that was his one wish he wanted to do. He wanted to fulfill, to help her, the last Targaryen alone in the world, and help her. So Sam will fill that gap and help Daenerys out and bring her in, and it will give her context and some relationships with Jon and Sansa and stuff, and she'll know about the White Walkers and things, so we'll bring her into Westeros with a better mindset of knowing what's happening. Because remember, Sam has the knowledge of a northern person. He's been in the north, he's been at the wall, he knows about all that stuff. He also was raised as a southern lord, so he knows how the game works, how different lordships work, the alliances, and how politics works, and everything. So he's the perfect kind of person to counsel Daenerys if she goes to Westeros. Okay, I'll be reasonably quick on the King's Landing stuff, but I must say, he won. He used the situation that Marjorie was put in to force her to comply with him. Like, he probably knows that she's not with him at all, and she's kind of faking it just so he can get out, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care about Marjorie, he doesn't care if she isn't fully on board with it. It was all manipulating Tommen that he wanted. Tommen is this young, susceptible king, and everyone knew it. They thought it was an advantage because Cersei and, Kevin and Tywin could all use it. But the High Sparrow got to him first. Also, when Mace Tyrell was doing that speech, it was just so cringy because he thought he was all gallant and awesome stuff, and Jaime's just looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? What the hell? What? He's one of those characters that's so gullible, so just ignorant, and it's only his house and his name and his people in his family who are really supporting him up as the figure that they knew. It's kind of like the Tommen that was used by his family instead of the High Sparrow. Then we move on to Tommen discharging Jaime from the Kingsguard. This is definitely a throwback to when Joffrey discharged Barristan from the Kingsguard. Now, I'm personally happy that he's leaving and he's going to his book storyline, he's going to River Run, he might with Brienne and all this awesome stuff, but he's probably not very pleased with it because he has to leave Cersei and stuff. But Cersei's going to go mad, she's going to go crazy, and I'm almost 100% sure she's going to burn down King's Landing, or at least try with the wildfire. Cersei's like this drug for Jaime, and it makes him addicted to it, and it makes him do terrible things and bring out his worst part of himself, and that's why separation is good. Now, these Arya scenes are very similar to what we got last time. She's laughing, she likes the kind of history that kind of mocks and displays Joffrey and stuff like that, but when it gets too personal, when the acting gets amazing, it really hits home because this is her life that they're playing. Some really important events to her, and it's kind of like just this whole simple display, and she gets to relive these events that she missed out on, that her life has been so dependent around. Now, I believe that there's going to be some kind of link between the Cersei betrayed here and her actions around that, and the real Cersei one day in the future when Arya is faced between a decision of killing her or not. It might be that whole situation, the city's burning around him. She's there, standing there with Negan, looking over her, she crazily laughs and tells her to kill her, to finish her off, and she just looks her dead in the face and walks away. So the play continues, and Arya sneaks in the back and has this whole dilemma of does she poison her, does she not? And she finally decides to just do it and put the poison into the rum. But right as she's leaving, she gets caught with the actress, and she has this awesome conversation with her, talks about her childhood and her past and her upbringing, and offers Arya this position in the Mama's fast and stuff like that, encourages her to bring her ideas forward, and this changes Arya's mind. She comes back in and knocks the drink aside so that she doesn't die. This was this part that I've been waiting for way too long. I always hoped and I always knew that Arya was still in there and she would prevail overall and she would go back to Westeros, she would continue on her line. She can't become a faceless man, and this just proved it. And now she's going against the order, the Waif's after her, and it's going to be this whole run and hide, chase and fight kind of scenario. Some guy in the conversation said it'd be really awesome if Arya's like waiting in a dark room, the waif comes in to try and kill him, it cuts away, then it comes back to the waif returning saying that she killed Arya, and then it's not actually the waif, but it's Arya with the waif's face, and he kills Jaqen, and then she leaves. But that would be probably too much to hope for, but some awesome shit like that would be amazing. So, the reveal we've been waiting for so long, Benjen Starks is Cold Hands. Real quick, I want to quash any of the hopes of the book fans. Benjen Stark was not Cold Hands in the books, just saying. George R. R. Martin confirmed that. But in the show, he definitely is. And here's this really interesting story about how he was dying, and the White Walker's magic was not taken over by him because the children did it instead. Now, the character of Cold Hands is very mystical and magical, and not really everyone understands exactly about him. And he definitely has some kind of influence of magic and knowledge that no one else really knows of, and should know. So I feel like the magic of the children and some of the information of the weirwood.net is in Benjen right now. Now, I don't know how long he's going to stay with Bran, or if he's going to teach him much, but I hope he can connect him with all the other kind of allies that Bran needs to be able to fight off the White Walkers. Man, this storyline is actually so interesting, and we didn't get any of it last season because we were too far forward, We had this kind of boring and tedious Bran storyline, and then nothing, and now absolutely immensely awesome, game-changing information and awesomeness. It's like, oh my god, I wish we had so much more of this. Then there was a scene that I personally have very mixed opinions on. Now, for a very long time, I've been rooting for Dany to go to Westeros, get her ass in a marine, and do something with her storyline. Now she has a beast of a dragon that's humongous and terrifying, thousands and thousands of Dothraki, the Unsullied, the Free Riders, Marine, some brilliant advisors, and she seems to be finally in control of her mental state, so she's in perfect position to have everything she needs. But she sounded so much like the Mad King and this tyrant when she was making that speech. She was repeating pretty much the same thing she did before when she was standing there in the flame. She's already got these loyal people, and she's like making them even more loyal, making them more rowdy and bloodthirsty and warmongering. Like, I would like to see Dany in Westeros, but bringing this Dothraki horde into Westeros would tear things to bits. Hundreds of thousands of innocent people and peasants would be slaughtered, enslaved, raped, and their villages burned down and their people destroyed. They just come out of tons of huge bloody wars, and now these invaders are coming to burn and raid them. When she just had the Unsullied, when she had the Free Riders, they were people who can control and keep, the peace and easiness. If you were to take a city with Unsullied, there'd be no raid, there'd be no burning down, no killing of peasants, you'd just be taking the city, military occupying it. But Dothraki, completely different matter. It's gonna be a test and a half for her to be able to control them in any way, shape, or form. Even with her power, even with her prestige and her dragons, to be able to change their whole culture and everything about them just so that they can follow her is gonna be really hard for her to do. But maybe she doesn't want to control them. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she's gonna take everything with fire and blood and path her way to the greatest conquering she's ever imagined. That may sound amazing to you, but it sounds fucking terrifying for everyone in Westeros right now. So what do you guys think? Is Dany an amazing, awesome person who's going to conquer and do this awesome war and win victory and then save the day with the White Walkers? Or will she just massively destroy the lives of thousands and thousands of people and ruin the entire Westeros ecosystem and make the Dothraki savages to take over the whole place? She won't be able to control them, her dragons will burn shit, she'll take over, and she'll rule the ashes. Either way, she's finally fucking leaving Marine. Thank you guys for watching. I know that you're going to tear into every single argument I put in this video in the comment section below, and I look forward to engaging with conversation with all you all. It's been amazing. I love all the support you guys have been giving me on my videos, and I really hope you keep supporting it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because, it's an amazing channel, and you want to join it, because we're an awesome community, and everyone loves us. So you guys should just